Welcome to the Men Don't Talk podcast. My name's Reggie. Just before I introduce tonight's guest, I would like to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Loved Ones Forever. They're a company that regenerates, revitalizes photographs that are damaged in fire, flood. So if you want to get in touch with us, we'll put you in touch with them and we'll go from there. If you like this, like, share, subscribe, and kind of, we need more subscribers. You never know, we might get a bit of merch. We do MDT. Yeah, Men Don't Talk merchandise,
MDT.
MDT, you know what I mean?
We can do that.
So anyway, I'm going to introduce tonight's guest. Men Don't Talk is a podcast for men to have a voice and a platform so we can sit and have a conversation together, because men just don't talk, or some do, some don't. I'd like to introduce you to Con.
Yeah.
Do you not mind me calling you Con?
Cons.
Cons. I call you Cons.
Yeah, cons. So Pro, in life we have pros and cons. So
pros and cons.
So you got positives, and then when you have conspiracy, it's extra positive. What I mean?
So is that where the name come from?
So our conspiracy basically came from different situations that would happen to me when I was younger. So I used to go to school in Deptford, and certain situations would happen, and you're like, "No, that's my friends would be like, "No, that's a conspiracy. How did I find that £70?" Everyone's walked past it, but I've seen it on the floor and picked it up. And then when I was also younger, I've got some other mates as well, and we used to go on crazy excursions, and we're like, "Nah, that's a conspiracy. How did you win that or get that, or good luck, bad luck, whatever it may be?" And it just became a pun that was used at the relevant time, something just to kind of highlight a situation. And then it then went into me making remixes as a DJ with no name. But I used to make these remixes, and they were just unique. And it was a conspiracy in how I destroyed one track to then bring in another track together. Because to basically conspire, well, if you look at what I mean to conspire, what it basically means is kind of a plan, or a plan to commit something, not necessarily dangerous, but to destroy something and potentially rebuild it back up. So I would do that with music, effectively making different remixes, and different things would happen at the same time. My friends knew me as Conspiracy because of the little sayings that we had back in the day as a kid, all the rest of it. So I just thought I'd go with it, to be fair.
Yeah,
that was it, to be honest with you. But
so what was your best blend? A mix. What was your best blend? What was the best one? What was the one that kind of made it for you? Like the one that sort of like, you must have one that sort of like.
You know what? So you're gonna laugh, right? So MC Hammer, You Got to Pray.
Yeah. So
me and my dad went to Black Dread Music in Brixton, and it cost me £7. I was young. I can't remember how many years ago this must have been now. My very first vinyl I ever bought with my own cash. And so I got MC Hammer, You Got to Pray, and I think it was a Sling Teng rhythm. So it's an old school dancehall rhythm. And basically I blended the two together. But what I did, I recorded it on a tape. I didn't know how to mix, but I somehow got the two to, it was either that or even a Panani rhythm. One of those two old school, like an old school rhythm, dancehall rhythm. And I somehow got the two to work together. I didn't know how to blend, hadn't learned those skills yet. And I was like, nah, this is crazy. So I recorded it with both, literally, because on the actual MC Hammer track, you had the acapella back in the day on old school vinyls. You got the acapella instrumental remixes amongst other things, right? So I was able to get the two just to sit together on top. It's like, nah, this is crazy. And I put it on a tape. And yeah, that was my very first one.
Tapes. Look at them.
TDK, that's what it was.
Metals.
Yeah, no, I had, was it TDK 12090s?
Yeah, but you had the metal ones.
Wait, the metals, yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
The metal ones,
yeah.
I mean, that was heavy, wasn't it?
Bro, that was my thing.
Did you ever do the pyro thing?
Or what, to turn it around, to wind it up? Yeah. And I remember when I wanted to, if you don't want to record over it, I had to bust the top.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah,
but if you wanted to record over it,
I got some tissue or tape. Yeah.
Put a bit of tape over it.
In the top of it to re-record, I used to put tissue so I can re-record over it.
Do you know what? I remember when all cars had a cassette radio, right?
Yeah.
Every car radio had a trio, like Kenwood.
Okay, yeah, Kenwood, yeah.
And do you know what? This stereo system was bad. I said you had 3 different colours on it, so you could change it to pink, green and orange. You know what I mean? It was like bad. You know? I was a car fitter. Like, I was a nick at car radios. They had a Pioneer Centrate that was unbelievable. You know, it was the days when people used to nick car radios because now they're all built in.
Yeah, because before you could take it out.
I had a sliding and I had the face-offs.
Yeah, face-offs as well.
Yeah, you know, like you had the one that a little bit come off. And we had cassettes. And I remember I had... I've still got a load of cassettes somewhere, like mixtapes of.
I need to find mine.
Yeah,
You know?
The thing is trying to find I mean, you used to have like a Technics, twin Technics, and the quality on them. You know, I think a lot of mediums are going back onto that, like vinyl. You know, there's been a bit of an uprising of vinyl, isn't there?
There has been.
You know, is it because of the authenticity of it?
I think that something actually my mum used to say. She used to say, "There's nothing new underneath the sun." So when something's produced at a quality level, it will always come back around in some way, shape, or form. If you look at the likes of Jordan, something that he was worn in the 90s, now people are spending £250, £500, £1,000 on a pair of Jordan. So if you make quality, it will never ever die out. Yes, things will be adjusted because of the times and technology, but it'll always come back out. And now people are clinging on to more tangible items. If you look at a certain point in life, recent over the last maybe decade or a bit more, a lot of things which people are valuing have been not tangible, right? For example, a like on Instagram isn't physically tangible. You can't take a like, put it in your back pocket. But now people are starting to cling on to the things of the past, which are tangible. And you know what? Even building up into asset, they're becoming assets. So people are looking at it from perspective of this might be worth a lot in the future. You never know. So people are looking at investments.
I think as well, it's the whole thing about actually physically getting off your arse and putting on a record.
Yeah.
You see that?
It's a journey.
You understand what I mean? Like, so it's a whole thing. Like I do this with, I've got a car that I found out. It's a BMW and it's got a CD player in it, but it's got a button on it that you can record. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got 4 series, 420. And it's got a button on it and you press record. Not a lot of people know it's there, right? And you can store up to 500 albums on a hard drive in your car. And when you finish with it, you put a memory stick in it and burn it all off and put it in the
Why didn't you record off the CD?
Yeah, it records the CD, right? And also as well, it comes up with the picture of the album.
The album artwork, yeah.
And you've got all these different genres. You can put it into genres and all that. And the thing is, I physically have to go into the thing and have a look at what album I want. Yeah. And that thing about because I grew up in a black and white television, and we was the first. I mean, I remember when we had Betamax or CFAX, Teletext.
Teletext.
That was unbelievable.
That's how you see the football scores.
Yeah, but that was it. That was unbelievable. Like, I mean, when we got that technology, it was like, wow. I had this telly, right, that you used to turn it around and you used to have to, it was a dial and you got it round onto that. And by the time you got back to bed, it was all fucking fuzzy. Right? Yeah. But just imagine that.
I've never seen that.
Could you imagine the imagination that like the generations had with black and white TVs? You had to imagine colour.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, you have to imagine colour. So, say for instance, with CDs, you have to, unless you've got it stored on a Brenham or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I've got one of them as well. And unless you've got it stored on there, like you've physically got to go up to the CD, put it in. Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure this is why my dad liked me, because I was the human remote control. So I turn over the TV, turn over the record, the tape, the CD, when he eventually got CD players when that came out. So that's what, me as a kid, those were my fondest memories, literally just changing a record.
I do remember the time where I used to always buy a lot of Nick stuff, and we got this Technics AA CD player, right? And I remember listening to the sound quality and I thought, wow. It was unbelievable. It was so clear. You could hear everything. And also as well, I think we had a Technics amp that had, it was one that had an equalizer on it as well. JVC, I think it was. All separates, separates.
Yeah, everything was stacks.
See, that was the thing as well. Like the separates, I had this big Pioneer one with a 6-loader CD in it, and it said "Hello to you." You know, like,
Yeah, when you play with your power on. Yeah. Listen, I've even had the same. I'm telling
and
you.
it was brilliant. You know what I mean? And I just set a 360 Jamo 360Ds on the wheels.
Yeah. I know you're talking. Yeah.
And I had the surround sound system, and I used to pump some music on that. But the thing is, it's the physically getting off your arse.
Yeah.
See what it is with a society that everything's driven and given. Yeah, everything. Like you know, you go to a bus stop and someone's standing there, and they know a bus is coming in 2 minutes, but they're still tapping their foot. It's 2 fucking minutes, bruv.
I know.
Yeah. So physically getting off your ass and playing a record, spinning the disc, and kind of, you know what? Like there's different things. I mean, I could imagine like, you know, like you've got 1,000 records at your disposal on a memory stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that. You know, I get that conveniency of it, and also as well. But then also as well, you know, you could actually do your own mixes and put them on the fucking memory stick. That's incredible technology, isn't it?
But it is. It's a gift and a curse. So before, when you buy a CD, okay, so for those that don't know, I'm a DJ. I DJ around the world, a lot in London every single week. Been DJing officially for 21 years as of last week. Yeah, as of last week, officially paid to DJ.
Happy birthday!
Thank you very much for 21 years, which is crazy. I never thought I would even. I don't know how I even got here, but I got here. Anyway, when it comes to it, when you spent your hard-earned money on a record, a CD, wherever it may have been, you take time to go through the whole CD to find the gem, quality track. Could be 12 tracks, 15, 20, whatever it is on the CD. It could be a 4-pack CDs that they used to have. I used to get from a friend of mine named DJ Godfather. He used to own a record shop years and years ago. And I could listen to this 4-pack CD that was imported from America. And I'd be like, okay, great. Out of these 40 tracks, which one do I like? And I used to take my time, mark it down, and take in the track. The vibe, the lyrics, where can I associate each track with? Now, because music's so obtainable via Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, SoundCloud, YouTube, all these other mediums out there, and more people are creating content, which is amazing because they're getting to show their talent to the world. Me as a DJ, or even just people in general as a consumer of the music, we're not spending the time to truly appreciate the music. Right? Our attention span become even shorter. We're not taking the time to, let me go through this album properly. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And it's because of the fast-pacing world that we currently live in. I've got, mate, I couldn't even tell you how much terabytes of music I got. I can guarantee I've never listened to all the tracks that I've got on my DJ laptop and my external hard drive. But I just wanted to know that I've got it because I'm kind of that way inclined. But I would prefer it if it wasn't as easily accessible, so we can truly take our time to appreciate the art form. And also people would stop putting out music as quickly as possible because they're trying to get something to hit. When if they take their time, what you'll see happens is they produce better quality. As an example, as an artist, if we look at Usher, right? Usher Raymond, amazing albums, an amazing artist. His catalogue in general, he doesn't put out music as often as, say, Chris Brown, but the quality of the music in which he puts out is timeless music. Where Chris Brown, amazingly talented, for me, equally as talented. I wouldn't put one above the other. I'm a fan of both their music, but he's got so much content. Unfortunately, the world doesn't get to appreciate it properly because of things.
They're bombarded by it.
Exactly, right? They're bombarded. So we don't take the time to pause. To really take in what the music is, and even just our general surroundings in life, because there's so much information being driven at you, and it's actually, I find it rather unsettling.
Well, you can't walk into a shop now without someone giving you an advert for a shop.
Exactly.
I have to turn off my my thing on there, you know, the assistant.
Yeah,
I have to turn off the fuck. I hate it. I hate it because like it just shut up. You know, like I don't want to talk. Like I didn't ask that. You know, have you ever obsessed over a record?
Yes.
You have.
My very first record I obsessed over or I can give you two, actually. One was, I'll give you one from a dancehall perspective. The rhythm was called Bookshelf Rhythm. And I don't know where I heard the track. I think I was in Jamaica. When I was in Jamaica, 96? No, it wasn't out yet. I don't know where I heard one of the tracks. And then I heard it eventually on a mixtape that was sent over from Jamaica. So in Jamaica, there used to be a guy named Cassette Ninja. And it got imported over into the UK. People re-recorded, and I heard the rhythm. And at the time, there was only like a couple of pieces available. Now, when the CD eventually came out, there was like over 12, 13 pieces available. I fell in love when I heard, when the gal, I'm up to date to the poet them, Sean Paul, and Sean Paul was on it, Beanie Man, other people. I loved the rhythm because when you heard the bass, it just worked for me. Still to this day, I play that rhythm.
Do they still do the, like when they do the drill beat and they have a certain beat, and then they kind of people use that beat? They did that in Jamaica, didn't they, with tunes? So they had the beat and people sung on top of the beat, and they done their. And what was that called? What was that?
So that's a rhythm. So
that's the rhythm. Yeah.
A producer will make a singular rhythm.
I'm not that kind. I do know a little bit about that stuff. It's just in my language. Just my language. Because there was a documentary on. It was a film, and it was about some dancehall, some sound systems that they had, and they was going with the sound systems, and then they was creating a rhythm. And then other people had that rhythm. They sung on that rhythm, and then is it kind of seasonal for that?
So that's still about. It's not as heavily prominent and it used to be, because one of the things that I liked about it is that became competitive within all the artists that was on the rhythm. So what used to happen was there was round one of a rhythm where there might have been 3-4 artists on it.
Yeah.
And then that would be for 6 months, and it'll pick up, it'll go crazy, and then the producer would do round 2. Get another 6 artists on the rhythm or so, roughly, just guesstimating the volume of artists. And then the rhythm will get re-released and it's like a clash. So if Beanie Man's on the same rhythm as Bounty Killer wants to do better than Beanie Man. Sean Paul wants to do better than Lady Saw, whoever it may be. And there was an element of healthy competition that pushed each other. Now, a lot of artists don't want to be on the same rhythm as somebody else, especially if they think that they may be upstage. And then some people are like, okay, this producer doesn't work with this artist because of different beef within the area. And within dancehall music currently now, there's a lot of singles as it's been evolving, which I'm here for. But at the same time, the rhythm element of things really brought unity within the music and within the culture. So it's a shame that we don't see as many rhythms getting dropped nowadays.
Well, it kind of, you had the people that made the rhythm and you had the people that sung on the rhythm. Yeah. So when they had different rhythms, like obviously you had the rhythm and then people sang, because you did see that with when Drake started to use drill beats and that kind of stuff, and he started using flows, the word, like it was a different flows, they call it a different flow, like a Wiley flow or a Stormzy
use whatever's inspired.
You understand what I mean? And they kind of use these different flows, and it's kind of, for me, when I grew up, we had JFM, Jazz Funk Radio, and I grew up in hip hop house and kind of that sort of stuff. But I do like 52nd Street. Tell me how it feels, how it feels.
You're better singing than me, bro.
And like loose ends and stuff like
loose
that.
ends,
and it's funny how like artists I've noticed, like Jill Scott. Yeah. When she done that little Golden, a fantastic house track. You know what I mean? But the thing is, but no one really knows about Jill Scott. You know?
Because that's actually like a standard soul R&B tune that got redone as a house track. Yeah. So living my life like it's gonna be.
That's it. Jill Scott. But you know how I come to all this, right? What happened was, and I'll go back to where I had my car. I kind of had all these CDs, right? Yeah. And I'd been out in the wilderness for many, many years, and I had loads of CDs. And I've got this car, and I found out it had this hard drive on it, and I thought, right, let's do it. And all the CDs were scratched and stuff like that. Listen to this. So what I did was, I went round to charity shops everywhere. Right,
Yeah.
this is I'm an addict, right? So like my obsession went mental. So I'm going into shops and I'm finding albums. Yeah, I've got all these albums there, right? I've got like the Artful Dodger, like they've done some really fantastic gear. They did. What a collective of artists that come together. You know, it's only kind of reminiscent of like say 2001 AD, 2001. You know, like the Chronic. You know when they brought all them artists together. You know, they was all under the same sort of banner. But when you're listening to Artful Dodger, English, and he brought a lot together.
But you know what the funny thing is? Sorry to cut you. You know what the funny thing? I felt that was truly unique. When I listened back, it sounded like an album of family members. So I could tell that there was an energy, like they knew everyone. It wasn't just because I'm paying you some money to get on a record, right? It felt like when I've gone back and listened to it, they were in harmony from the production into the actual artist singing. Or
I've always said one of the best albums in the world.
All right, listen, it's and even to this day, there's tracks. I remember I was at History in July, I think it was, in Blackheath Park, and tracks were getting played from there. And I'm like, look at this, 20 odd years later, tracks are getting done. Like even okay, to answer back the question, so I said dancehall, rhythm was bookshelf rhythm. First rhythm was I was addicted to. I had to find it. You couldn't stop me. I searched low and high to get this rhythm. And I remember
dreaming about it.
Bro, I'm telling you, I was listening to the beat in my head and I heard it once and it stayed in my head and it could never come out. And then I went to Isle of Wight for a week and there was a Jamaican guy, also another Jamaican guy who had it on a tape, and I heard it for the week of the tape, and then I got it from Cassette Ninja, and eventually I ended up buying the vinyl. My big brother, happy birthday to him, R.I.P. Ika, it's his birthday. He without him I would have never been a DJ, fact. So always love to my bro. But he took me and we went and bought the actual vinyl. And it was green on it and amazing. But then my R&B track that I loved was actually Donnell Jones, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, You Know What's Up. And that track had me hooked. So I was what year would I have been? I was year 6, I think, in primary school. And I went Jamaica. And in Jamaica, it was on back in the day, so when MTV played music videos. And when I heard this track, the production, the singing on it, still to this day, it's one of my favorite 90s R&B tracks. It was like the later end of the 90s. Donnell Jones, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, You Know What's Up. And when I'm telling you, I was addicted to finding it. Then eventually, those days I had Videotron, so cable. Eventually, those days, music comes out in America first, wait 6 months, then it comes out in UK. Right, it gets imported, they take their time, then they do their marketing run. It came out, I saw it in a music video in the UK. I was like, oh my gosh, the track. I recorded it on VHS. I was like, my mom was like, we didn't go to bed. Like, were you recording it? So it was late. I was up late. I don't know how I got to stay up late. I never really had it like that. And then I recorded it, addicted to rewatching it, the VHS. Then I saw it in Brixton. Was it Our Price? Was it Red Records?
Our Price is...
I think it might be an Our Price.
Our Price is a lucky find though, isn't it, really?
Right? I think
Our Price is a lucky find because like when you go on Our Price, like there's not many large mainstream record shops left. There's one in Bromley, I think there is. But you was lucky to find it in there.
Bro, when I found it, it was a blue cover. I think he had a beanie hat on and a top with the sleeves cut out, whatever it was. And I think it was about $3.99. And when I'm telling you, I walked home with this CD. Forget Biggie Smalls. Everyone was on the hip hop. I had my cousin Michael on Wu-Tang, everything else. I didn't give a monkey's. When I'm telling you, when I heard that song, it was the following summer. So I'd heard it, it was October when I was year 6 at school, or 5, October. The following summer, I bought that. When I'm telling you, I was addicted to a beat in my head that I'd only heard twice. And the only other time I got the feeling was at Bookshelf Rhythm. Yeah, it was a lucky.
Do you still get the same feeling now with them?
I play that song now with new music, yes. So the last song I had I would say I had an addiction for. No, my songs are based upon seasons, I would say now. So I used to like Her, Damage, from one of the New York artists. I used to play it all the time. There's a few artists that I really like. Eric Bellinger, the new R&B guys, Jacquees. But I'm a man who, my emotions and passion determine the addiction to music, the genre and the style of music. So my preference to listen to most of the days, smooth R&B, not slow jams, but smooth R&B, something that just keeps me easy, right? If I'm angry, I'll play dancehall. If I just want a little vibes, a little sun, I might play some Amapiano, some house, right? But in general, smooth R&B, I listen to every day. Even I'm in the gym, my friend, we're in the gym pushing weights, and my friends are listening to Meek Mills, all that. I love all of it. I love like loads of genres of music, right? I've definitely got an eclectic taste. But my friends are listening to Meek Mills, Rick Ross pushing on a bench, right? I'm here pushing 140, 160 kgs, trying to do personal bests and all sorts. I've got LL Cool J, Love You Better on. They think I'm crazy, right? And I'm like, me being calm and poised brings out the best in me. Yeah. And that's what I use it for. And that's my thing.
Yeah. I mean, I like a lot of, so all different types of music. Like mood, you talk about moods and, you know, my car, someone tried to steal my car. I had my bag stolen and they come back and nick my car because my keys were in my driver's license. And they tried to nick my car and the tune that was playing when they was trying to nick my car was Slow Tie, like dripping blood.
Bruh, they must have questioned their life.
And they couldn't get the car, right? Yeah, dripping blood. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They must have thought, bro, I may have just robbed the wrong car, man.
From Fulham.
Yeah.
But I do like different musics. I mean, on my travels and my quests in the charity shops, I got a recording from Brixton Academy with Public Enemy. Yeah, I've got in these CDs. I've got there's some. I'll tell you what, you're missing a treat. You want to come out with me one day, right? And I'll take you to these charity shops, right? There's one of them that has got racks of CDs, right? And they're all like 50p's, 20p's. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. I'm not saying that I just couldn't be bothered to go on the internet and look for it.
One man's rubbish is another man's treasure. They say.
You know what? Like, but I do like things like Fonda Ray. You know, Touch Me, and all that sort of stuff. I'm kind of into that. You know, and I like all that. You know, Intimate Connection, Clear. You know, I like all that sort of stuff, and you know, but I grew up with, you know, I grew up in with Selector, Special, all that Lovers Rock, Carol Thompson, Stardust, like that.
I got the same. To be fair, that was kind of imposed on me as a kid. So it was just played. My house was, in terms of media or entertainment, was reggae, lovers rock, roots and culture is what they call it in Jamaica. So roots and culture would be like, it's not necessarily reggae. How would I define it? There's certain Capleton tracks, early Capleton and Bushman and certain people. So you had reggae, roots and culture, not really dancehall. And then it would be the likes of my mum will have Lionel Richie dancing on the ceiling. You know what I mean? I remember as a kid, like, just dancing with my mum would turn.
I mind a bit of Lionel.
Yeah, a bit of Lionel Richie it was so. But then that was my thing, and then the other, in terms of TV, it was cricket, and if I was lucky, football. Rest of it was do homework and go outside and play. But that was so my musical upbringing, as you've mentioned in certain artists. That was it. That's what I had to listen to.
I've got a John Holt album.
John Holt. John Holt. Sam Cooke.
I've got his because you know all these out. Like I'm in the charity shops, right? And I'm seeing like John Holt, Sam Cooke, and I'm picking these up, and they're like, but it's kind of like if I've got 500 albums in the car, I've spent 500 quid. But the thing is, I've got a load of CDs that are not scratched, and it's like it was like kind of just getting the collection, because you know what, this is another thing, a physical collection. You know, I've got a physical collection that's stored in my car. I haven't got the CD lurking about. I've got it. I can put it in a box and forget about it. You know, when I speak to lads now, and they haven't even got a CD player, not a CD player in their car. Don't know what a CD. Well, everything's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Everything, all their playlists, right? You know, if their technology fails, they've lost it.
And they've got nothing. But this is the way society's going.
Because it's just the same way I felt when I went to put in my CDs and my CDs were scratched.
Let me ask you a question. Have you got a photo album, like of you as a kid?
I have, yeah.
So, in this world that we're in, and I'm also into technology, right? I've got pretty, on top of DJing, I've got a decent job with a major tech firm globally, right? Literally one of the largest companies on the planet. And I look at, for example, my cloud, got loads of pictures in there, and Dropbox and Google Cloud, etc. And if I ever lost those pictures, priceless moments, right, I would be upset. But then I go back to my mum's and go see, hi dear mum, whatever. And I look and I go through the photo albums. Just the feeling of opening, the care I take from one page to the other, that tangible moment of looking at a picture and goes, oh my gosh, is that me in Jamaica as a 4-year-old? Yeah. A little afro. And I was like, that moment is even more special than me flicking through my phone on Google Photos.
Yeah.
Right. And I think people are losing that. Some people, certain occasions, they get married or stuff like that, they'll print it out, etc. But the journey and buying good photo albums is kind of lost.
You've invested time and energy into physically making that photo. Yeah, something's there.
Yeah.
You can hold it in your hand. I tell you what I do. I do these things for my friends that pass, and they're called memory cards.
Yeah.
And I keep them, and what it is a credit size picture, and there's a poem on there and everything, and you keep it in your wallet. Yeah. And I call them memory cards. Yeah. And it's something I do. And I was going to add a QR reader on the back, so you could put a QR reader and spring up loads.
That's an idea, you know.
So anyway, like spring up loads of stuff. And I've been doing it. I've got loads of them that I do for my friends and my family. And the QR code.
So am I going to get one now?
Yeah. Well, I could give you one if you want. But the thing is, I could give, you're not dying. Yeah, these are all people that pass. But the thing is, anyone can have them. Like, say, for instance, you know, there's so many different applications for it. But I call them memory cards. And when I gave these out, now I've printed about 500 of these memory cards. And I give them all out. And people come back years later with this, like, battered, but still loved picture, and they're going, you know what? Anytime I'm low, I look at that, right? And that's powerful, brother. That is.
I can tell you, I have my own. It's like a totem.
Are we going to go into business with this, Con?
Oh, listen, I'm here for.
Are we going to go into business?
Let's do this, like, because it's like a totem. It's a totem. You know, in some cultures you've got totems and they represent something, and it's like it's a totem, so to speak. It's something that keeps you get it, and it just regrounds you, or finds back. I think it's a brilliant idea.
It's a physical connection with a memory. You know, it's not just on your phone. This thing is never going to run out of battery. Yeah, it's never going to run out. You've always got it, and this is the thing about where technology. Okay, it's advancing and everything else, but you know what? I'm a human being. Yeah, it's got limitations in my eyes. You know, that physical contact and that touch. You know, when you're playing your music and you're seeing people dance with a rhythm and everything else, you know, you're physically touching them. They feel it. Yeah, they feel what you're playing, and every mix that you play. Yeah, you know, you ain't just mixed that. You've thought about doing it.
But see, and this is, I think, for me, the best DJs are the ones, or the DJs that have the best sets. Let me say this. Because you've got the sets where it just feels like you're in a process. And you can play every single track exactly the same way as another set. But you see the set that you've got your passion behind? You can come up with, I've done mixes live that I don't know if I'll ever be able to recreate because I didn't get inspired. So nowadays, or what I've realized maybe in the last 5 years especially, is I would have a little bounce. when I'm playing it. Because if I can't enjoy it, how can I expect everyone in front of me to enjoy it? You see where I'm coming from? And I put my passion into when I DJ, and so it does mean a lot to me. It's not about money and girls and all that. I don't give two hoots about all of that, right? Whatever's meant to be mine, it will be mine regardless of anything. But I put my passion behind it. And that's why it means every minute within my set means a lot. But then it comes off, that energy is been received by the audience who are receiving it. And that, it makes it priceless, because when I get feedback, when people send me a WhatsApp or an Instagram DM and said, oh my gosh, Cons, your set was lit that last night. You had something in you. And it's because I had that passion, and energy, we can't see it, but it can be transferred from one person to another.
Yeah.
The best, greatest DJs in the world is when everyone can feel your energy and passion, and you can put that energy and passion into somebody else.
I'll tell you what, Defective, they kind of, their mixes are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, Dimitri and Honest Slade, you know, and them type of, I mean, unbelievable choice and music, and a lot of that is Sound Divine and all them kind of them type of thing. And I remember in the lockdown with Defective done a live set, and I thought,
Instagram, I think it was.
Yeah, right? Something like that. Yeah. And also Defective was in the Miami Sound Convention when they did the Miami Sound Convention, and they used to do it every year, and it was the beginning of the year, and I guarantee you, the music that Defective were playing that year, you'll only be hearing it in this country by the end of this year, end of the year. Yeah, and the mixes and the lineup as well. Some of their stuff, I mean, their albums are unbelievable.
Because you know, one thing I learned is that music is produced at a frequency, and with that relevant frequency, if you can tap into that right frequency, you can move souls. And if you look at history, right, if we look at different tribes, if we look at just human culture in general, we've always been moving at a rhythm, at a beat. And I just find that in today's day and age, that beat is now becoming more and more congested.
Yeah.
Even how we're speaking on a rhythm, you know, at a pace.
Yeah.
Right. I listen to you and how you say your words and the tone and your delivery. So we've always done it from throughout history, right? But today, mate, the rhythm of the world is crazy and it's confusing.
I mean, there's some shit out there.
Bro, I don't know if we've got enough time to go into the way that I see the world right now. The world is chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, we was going to speak about something else.
Go for it.
But we've ended up speaking about music. So what we can do is carry on speaking about music and have another time for something else, because I don't mind. I've got all the time in the world.
Right, we can,
yeah.
Right,
you know what it is. Because I've enjoyed speaking about music. I mean, what it is, I'm not a DJ.
Yeah.
But I listen to music. I would say that I get connected with music. I would say that music has felt one of the most powerful tracks that I have ever heard. It was before I come into recovery, and I was in a really low place, and was Gregory Porter. And when he done it, It's Probably Me. It's Sting's track, and it was in the Polar Awards. Oh, fucking
loved it.
Oh my good God. I saw Sting in the audience, and he was like, whoa. Yeah. See, Gregory Porter. And I've listened to some of other Gregory Porter stuff, because he has moved into some housey, garagey tracks as well, that remixing stuff. But that one there in particular, I mean, it really hit my soul.
Music does that to you. So music can, I remember I used to I used to go to a place called McCluskey's in Croydon, and I've attributed Marcus Houston, Joe Budden clubbing the track to it, but it takes me back to that memory and that point. So even when and the reason why I bring this up is because it links me back to the memory cards you're talking about. Music can unlock a memory to a moment.
Oh, we could put music to them as well.
Yeah, well, exactly. But it does. It can be like a certain song. I may have
heard it here first.
Yeah.
You heard it here
exactly,
first.
right?
Yeah, we can't go back on this one.
Like it could have been in love with a girl, and this was a specific song you attributed to this girl. You just...
we all had a song we got heartbroken to.
Oh, bro.
Oh, my good God.
Mate, I've been heartbroken many times,
yeah, but
but
the thing is,
core blind, there's one or two songs.
And also as well, I've had women that said this song reminds me of you, and I think, how the fuck did that work?
Bro, you know what? I've had a few still. I'm never going to lie to you.
Someone said me missing you, like the desert's missed the rain, and I thought, you never saw me, love.
I have a few people that have told me that certain songs they hear, an artist, they will always attribute that to me. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of, in terms of like love and like whatever, I think I've had not many heartbreaks in my life, but there are certain tracks that I'd be like, oh, I don't even want to even hear it. I'm like, fuck. Like, but then at the same time, it was a beautiful time. So you know what? I take it in, but it was just, I could never play that track to another woman. Yeah. Right? You feel me? Because it just, it doesn't have that. Yeah. I would have to find a new track. If I've got a new woman in my life and I look at the season that we're in, I look at what music's coming out, and the aura of that woman and the connection we've got, then I put a song to it.
Well, here's something for you. I'm in recovery, right? We a lot of addicts get triggered by music. Yeah, they get triggered by music, like about experiences and places and that. And one day I'm coming back from a meeting, and I'm with a guy. He's a couple of days clean, and I'm with another woman that she was 6 years clean at the time, and I was about 2 years, I think it was. And we're driving back, and we're listening to some music, and me and this woman are loving the music, and he's going, look, can we turn it off? Like, it's kind of like, you know, and I get that. But I said to him, why don't you just attach a different memory to it?
It's not that easy, bro.
But the thing is, no, but it is, look, with me, it's in music in general. It wasn't something that was highly sentimental, but the thing is, you can see the attachment, but sometimes attach a different memory to it. I get that thing with girls, and they go, especially like Angie Stone, you know, missing, like, what do you call it? I can't sleep anymore. You know what? If you play that in a car, I know every girl, I mean, but Angie Stone, what an artist she is.
Oh, amazing.
I mean, unbelievable, them type. Jill Scott, Angie Stone, you know, all that kind of, Erykah Badu. Her album was good. Do you remember when they done the Booty Call album?
Hey, listen.
I've got that Booty Call album.
Listen.
I don't want to be a player no more.
Listen, I've got it on CD.
I've got it on CD.
I've got it on CD. I bought that post the it coming out, and I found it, and I was like, oh my gosh! I mean, I like already had a few of the tracks already, but I just went and I repurchased it. But in talking about music and emotion, you can learn to associate a different memory to a specific song. Or you can live in the emotion, understand it, and come out from it even better. But again, it takes time and self-control.
Well, just say, for instance, the Gregory Porter one, it's called Probably Me. It says a solitary voice reaching out and setting me free. And basically, like, he's saying, like, you know, it's probably me. Like, I'm the one who can set me free. And even though Sting wrote a song, even though when I heard that song, at one particular time I was taking an overdose. I listen to that song now and I think, boy, you've changed, Reg.
But you see, you can now use it instead of a negative. You can see growth from it. And I've had to learn to see growth in the songs that you would use to trigger me, in either because I've lost a family member. Unfortunately for me, I've loved a lot of people who are now no longer here, in terms of family, right? But then I know if I listen to Sizzler, reminds me of my big brother. Luciano reminds me of my little sister. And different artists remind me of certain roots and culture. Sam Cooke reminds me of my dad, right? So these are people in my life who I love and I still love, even though I just love them whilst they're in heaven. You feel me?
Yeah, get it.
So instead of being upset, what I've had to learn is control and stand in the emotion. So don't let necessarily it may adjust my mood, but it won't adjust my actions, because I don't want to make a permanent action to a temporary emotion.
Yeah.
It's illogical. So I've now learned to attribute it to a more positive element. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, it's about turning. Sometimes I have the connection with the feeling of the music and what that moment. Yeah. And then you listen to the music again, you still got that feeling, but the moment's not there.
That's powerful still. You got bars.
Yeah.
You should be a rapper.
No, I'm right.
You're right.
I'm right, yeah. Well,
Same
I've
thing.
written 2 books, and I draw, and I'm a digital artist. I've not kind of, like there's a few little talents there, and I clean and restore listed buildings. That's my day job. But the thing is, look, music, connection. I can clearly see, that music has empowered and inspired your life, and it's inspired other people. And I'm sorry for your losses, my friend, and I'm sorry about that. But also as well, the strength that you get and the memories. You know what? They'll be there forever.
It's made. I can't lie. It's made me very powerful. It has made me very powerful. It's made me very powerful because when I attribute my dad taking me to go get MC Hammer, You've Got to Pray.
Yeah, you spoke about that. That's a brilliant memory, though.
So he's taken me, my little bit of savings that I've had. So now for me, I'm not upset about it. I'm appreciative of it. And I've actually learned more of I call it a spirit of abundance. Instead of not looking what I don't have, I look at what I do have. And I'm not necessarily talking materialistic, right? I work hard, do okay.
Grateful.
Exactly that. So everything, everything I take, I you know what I mean? I don't take for granted. The fact that I can leave here now, go to a really nice gym and work out, right? If I leave here, I'm more in the spirit of, you know what? I'm learning to sit in the moment and I take power from it. And because I can take power from it, I kind of have an advantage over a lot of people for the next day. It's like a slingshot. Right, what's it called? A winch that propels me into the next day. Yeah, because I'm going into bed and I'm waking up at a higher energy because of that. Because I'm thinking, wow, you know what? I've woken up out of bed. Let me drop down and do my minimum 20 press ups, and the fact that I can do that is amazing. And the link to music is when I listen to a certain playlist before I go to bed, and because I now own those situations in life. And the memory that those songs are attributed to, it means I can guarantee I wake up better than other people. It's very rarely now someone said, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, can turn around and say to me that I'm waking up groggy or irritable. Yeah, because the music. So tying it all back in, the music's attributed to something that may have negatively happened, but I've now been able to see them as positive, which gives me strength and propels me to the next day to be stronger and better than I was the day before. Well, that's fantastic, my friend. Anyway. Appreciate my bro. Come on. Well done. You say, I want an MDT t-shirt. Yeah. Okay, we'll get one of them. We'll get the merch up. Yeah, we'll get the merch up. Anyway, look, it's been fantastic. Will you come back? I'm going to come back. We're going to, I think we'll take it off. Because we can talk about different genres. Bro. What you've established that now. Yeah. It's all about feeling comfortable. And with Men Don't Talk, I mean, it's what we don't talk about. Sometimes you might not get to talk about this in depth with people. And this is a chance to, we all got a chance to. You know what? I'm going to give a big shout out to our subscribers and everyone who loves Men Don't Talk. Subscribe, like, share, and kind of get it out there, get the message out there. We haven't been cancelled yet, so we're all right. Mate, you listen, because we didn't cover certain things. So definitely. Right. Don't worry about that. We'll leave that to another time. Anyway, a big thanks to everyone in the studio. Thank you very much. Well done. I appreciate it, man. Well done. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll be back.